and his fiancee Charlene. And Scott Hicks, you are the lead singer of Test Human, and you're just recently signed to Straight Up Entertainment, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, through Sony and the Orchard.
Sony and Orchard, okay,
Yeah.
great. So, okay, you have a great history, great background. So you're originally from South Boston, is that right?
South,
And now you're out here in Worcester.
I am in Worcester.
Okay. So now, what brought you out to Worcester?
I got hurt in an accident, I think 2016,
Okay.
and lo and behold, I got sent to a rehab out here to learn how to walk again. I was paralyzed, hospitalized for a little bit, and I just fell in love with the city.
Right.
Yeah.
You like it out here, good people? And
Awesome people, man, great community, and just, it's New Boston West.
And so now you have a music background. How have you always been involved in music since you were younger? Or?
I had a passion from early on, obviously with hip hop,
Right.
traditional hip hop.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I made some bad choices in my life, which led to a little over 2 decades in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got out, obviously Hollywood came calling, and
Wow.
I just still had the music bug. And I just changed, a lot changed. So I decided to put a band together.
Nice.
And just go to the studio with no interruptions, no pressure, and just see what we could come up with. Working on a couple of television shows in post-production, and I just woke up one day and said, I'm bored. Let's go to the studio and see what we can do. Yeah.
So you were right there every day with him, Charlene, in the studio? Or?
Yes.
A lot of people don't realize that haven't been in a recording studio. You listen to the same guitar track 15 times in 10-second clips. The same. It's basically at the end, towards around the last 8 tracks on the album. She said, I've decided that you don't record your vocals till the last half hour of the day. That's when I'll come back.
Well, you just, before the camera started rolling, you just showed us your video that just dropped today,
Yes,
is that right?
about an hour and a half ago, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. So,
It's titled Genocide.
mm-hmm.
I was watching the news one day. It was during the Chauvin trial.
Okay.
I saw a scroll at the bottom of the TV, and it was someone else had been shot by a member of law enforcement. Of course, I'm not saying all law enforcement's bad, but I think that something's broke in the system.
Yeah.
It's just incredibly broken. So I just did a quick Google search, and it was nearing the end of the trial. The jury was out, and the lyrics in the song reflected that fake justice sold. 3 weeks, another 100 souls. So in the period of the trial, the 3-week trial, there were 103 Americans shot by police officers.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah.
It's shocking.
Yeah, definitely there is something broken in the system. That's a really powerful video. And I mean, Derek Chauvin, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, everybody in there, and all the protests going on. I mean, there was so much going on in the past year, you know.
There is a lot of protests going on, and we had a lot of meetings about the video. We did not want to focus on the band because it was more, it actually came down to another 11th hour meeting between Corleone, myself, and some of the other team members and the videographers that came in to shoot it. Joey, what's up? Thank you, buddy. Joey Politics, he handles all the news stuff and everything. He's a great guy from Boston, guys. So we're keeping everything here in Massachusetts.
Nice.
But without getting off track, I just, I said, I don't want the message to be lost on people focusing on the band. Let's just really quick go to the studio and just focus on, flashing you in and out. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great video, really great video.
Yeah, Joey Politics did a great job on it, man.
Nice.
So I think it's, I just wanted to say, I had a discussion today with one of my partners in the TV side of it, and text messages saying, please don't release the video. Please.
Really?
I said, it's coming
Why
out.
not? Why not?
And this is why we actually brought the whole team together. And I said, you know something? It's going out today. I don't care. Because I was actually told it's too politically charged and certain suits and ties may not like that. It's not profanity laden. I'm just, it's the facts. I'm not saying anything that is not happening And I just think that, I'm saying what a lot of people want to say, or a lot of
Right.
people are thinking in the privacy of their home.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
What we're going to be doing, thanks to Mastermind Quillion and a couple of the other guys, Bones,
Yeah.
what we're going to do is, after a period of time, we're going to set up a genocide website just for
Wow.
that single, and allow people to make their own videos with their own cell phone clips, their own footage. 'Cause I don't have everybody's story. I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
There are millions and millions of Americans out there that have been pulled over, and you see it sometimes. Officer on recording. I mean, you shouldn't have to fear people that are sworn to protect.
Exactly.
My past life in organized crime, I'm kind of jaded on that
Right.
subject, because there are situations in the past where I've handed envelopes to police officers that are crooked. And we see this all the time.
Wow.
I mean, we just shut down an entire state police troop for embezzling.
Wow.
They shut the whole troop, the whole barracks down, because they were like, well, it's just not one or two officers that have been stealing overtime. We have to close the entire barracks. It's hundreds of them.
Wow.
And but then again, they allow them to plea out.
Mm-hmm.
You'll keep your pension, but you have to retire. Someone like me gets caught for embezzlement.
Yeah.
It's 15 to life. Someone like Quillion
Wow.
or Slay or Bones gets caught.
Right.
It's automatically lock them up, throw them away. So I mean, I don't like the do as we say, not as we do
Mm-hmm.
theory that a lot of people subscribe to. I've always been the guy, if you got me, you got me. If you didn't get me, well, that's on you. But if
Yeah.
you got me, you got me. I did my time, 24 years altogether.
Wow.
So,
So yeah, you have a great history. I mean, you have a long, you've been through a lot. You've been through the system. So how did you overcome that? What when you got out of the system?
It's rough. And that's one of the things we're doing right now. One of the reasons, against advice of management and agents, I turned down a lot of money to go with straight up entertainment.
Wow.
And they tailored the contract because Jimmy is very passionate. I'll be honest with you, he's an infectious little guy. And it's when you have independent artists now that are out there, and especially with social media and these streaming platforms now, it's not where it used to be 10, 20 years ago, where the record labels controlled you. You became an indentured servant. And
Wow.
I saw that firsthand, how you would receive a large advancement, which is a glorified loan, which is a recoup. And then if you were hot and you moved 1 million or 2 million albums, they would give you whatever you wanted: homes, cars, jewels, drugs, women, everything, and make you sign your life away. You were constantly in debt, constantly. One of the greatest recording artists in my mind in history was Tupac Shakur. Unfortunately, when it was all done, after the audit, that man owned nothing.
Really?
Not even the jewelry he wore.
Wow.
It was all owned, no homes, no cars, no bank accounts, nothing. I think that it's a travesty. So we were in a situation where we knew our band was being propositioned to go to a major label directly. So I'm like, well, what the hell? We got 3 months in an album. Let's let Jimmy do it. He's going to distribute it through the major anyways. Put him in a position to take his independent label to that major and force them to give him the deal he was looking for.
Wow.
So he could do what I want to do, or what we're doing,
Yeah.
is reaching out to other smaller independent labels and taking control and ownership of our material.
That's great. Now,
Yeah.
so do you have ownership of your music?
We do. That is
That's
one,
great.
Yes, Jimmy bent over backwards
Wow.
to satisfy my management, to tailor the deal to where he just wanted to get us there and be put into a position in order to help other people. I call it tricklenomics. So, I mean, I've seen both sides of it, man. And, and it's unfortunate that we're hoping to, educate a lot of people, because you have to understand business nowadays, especially in the music business, even in the entertainment company.
Right.
entertainment business when I started my own production company because I was like, I don't want to just be in front of the camera. I don't want to be a talent. I just finished some work for that. I don't want to do that. I want to know what goes on behind the cameras. So yeah, so
That's great.
every day's learning experience. But I mean, I know they paint my story as a road to redemption. I guess in a way it is. I think that if you peel back all the onion layers of life, it boils down to one simple thing. You either make good choices in life or you make bad choices in life. That's it. You can, everything that gravitates around that, whether it's business or personal, whatever it is, you always have that choice. It's either a good choice or a bad choice. So I'm hoping that beyond all of the TV stuff, the video game stuff, the music stuff that people see, I'm speaking from firsthand experience. I know what it's like to sit in a cage for decades. I know what it's like to have my children grow up without me, now have children and try and play catch up. I know what it's like to be involved. And it breaks my heart too, man. You see a lot of young men come into the system at 18 and 19 years old that are doing natural life sentences. And I just look and it breaks my heart because I'm like, you took another human being's life. And for what? Because he was on the wrong street? What did you really get out of that? You've wasted your life, their life, and everybody around them because it's a domino effect. I mean, no one is without someone that cares or loves for them in the world. It just sucks because, you know, you throw everything away. And for what? You know, it's just sad. It's sad. So I'm just hoping that, again, speaking from my own experience, I know what it's like to be, unfortunately, due to bad choices, steeped in real crime. I'm trying to get a message out. And that's why we put Test Human together was anti-system, anti-government. No, I just call it truth music. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I think everyone's experiencing and feeling. So I'm just going to, you know, put it to a song and see where it goes.
Yeah, and I think people are really going to resonate with that. They're going to really feel that because, like you said, it's true. And that's what's going on in the world.
We have the next single. It's called Average Joe. It's a concept song, and it talks about, you know, the last verse of the song. I talk about a young man and his father having too much pride, and kissing his wife, telling his son, you know, goodbye, and he goes outside and commits suicide because he couldn't pay the mortgage on his house.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
I think it's time for a change, man.
Right.
I think, you know, it's. I would never detract from any artist trying to make a living and support himself and provide for his family. But I think it's a lot of it's gotten cookie cutter, and that's why I was very, you know, insistent about saying no more samples.
Oh, okay.
All live instruments. That's it. So yeah, and it's also a way to try and inspire. You know, we have a young man standing behind us over there, Slay, that promising, upcoming, and going to be a very successful hip hop artist. But when we were doing a listening party about 2 weeks ago, I was in the outside. I was in the booth, and I looked through the window, and all of a sudden, to see a young man, a young black man at that, singing along with the chorus and jumping up and down, I'm like, that is what music is. I mean, we call it, you know, I call it rock and roll. I think, you know, we have a movement behind it. It's called Mobb Rock, obviously a play on words.
Okay.
But the movement is when I was asked by someone about 2 weeks ago to describe it, they said, what is Mobb Rock? I said, in my mind, it's the mindset to say, I can do that. That's rock and roll to me. That's the essence of rock and roll, is rebellion. It's not being told what to do. And he said, well, how do you really, and I said, all right, picture this. Picture Little Richard, a gay black man in 1950, Georgia, doing rock and roll. He just said, screw it, I can do that.
Yeah.
So it's breaking away from what is considered okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that's just, and that is everything behind Test Tune, everything behind Mobb Rock. It's a movement. But yeah, man, it's catching on a lot, man, and that inspires me. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
You know?
It should, yeah.
Yes, it's just like saying, you know, don't do it because everybody else is doing it, because everybody else is getting shot. So, do it like this, man, and don't be judged for it. And we're bending over backwards, and it's a huge collaboration between Jimmy and the Wu-Tang management guys, and Corleone Records, and his artists. And he has a lot of promising artists. One of them just went to take my dog for a ride, and we explained it to him. We said, listen, not everybody. We're booking, we just got booked on a big tour with Crazy Town. We start October 31st in Mexico City, Mexico, and it's all, I think it's 26 dates all across the U.S. Bones can fill you in with that. But,
you know, back to Boston, of course.
We are actually there. We are headlining in Boston.
Okay.
We're looking at, there's 3 venues. It's either the Hard Rock, House of Blues, or Orpheum.
Oh, Orpheum. Okay.
Yes.
So you have a reality show going on. Can we talk about it?
We cannot talk about the name.
Okay.
We can't, because that will get me in trouble with NDAs.
All right.
Well, what happened was I was approached several years ago, and we can't talk about this because it was they actually gained access to the institution I was at.
Okay.
Filmed me for several days in the institution, then filmed my release from the institution. We went up to Maine on location there, shot for a few days, and that is coming out on Epix network through HBO.
Okay.
So that's coming out. That's in post. And then during the wrap of that, I was approached by another production company out of Virginia and asked to do a reality show, and their executive producer is the executive producer for, I can't say it again, because then it'll go all the way. If you ride fancy motorcycles, it's a very popular show where a father and a son didn't get along for a number of years. So we partnered up, and he does another show that just ended with a family of girls that have an affinity for basketball players in California, and then another one with young women that get pregnant. Young women that get pregnant. I think I just avoided all the NDAs.
Right.
But without saying names, so we partnered up. I formed a production company.
That's great.
And we're in post-production now. And we're looking forward to that coming out. And I think everything's trying to coincide at the same time. Robert Carmen. And take that. Today, actually, he is doing a charity event for cancer. All proceeds go to cancer in Avon, Connecticut. So that bike was, he was a competitive racer. And the bikes were too heavy.
Okay.
So with a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time, invented that. And it is the latest total carbon composite fibered fat tired race bike in existence.
Wow. How much does it weigh?
It is 11 pounds lighter than the latest bike on the market. It weighs 19 pounds and 4 ounces.
Wow.
So our team, through Lori Wilson and Sage Badweather, are currently, we're in negotiations with somebody on that. But what we're doing is coming out with, I wish I would be able to briefly on it. Teaming with colleges through Sweatbox, through Buck, through Ball Dogs, on, everybody knows, everybody's been to college. You been to college? All right, you've been to college, camera guy over here. You've been to college, man, right?
Yes.
What is it in every college of America that a freshman cannot do?
Learn.
Own or operate a car on campus your freshman year. So we're making a freshman edition because they are costly, but I mean, obviously so we're working with colleges and sponsoring athletes through Ball Dogs and Sweatbox on providing them with quality means of transportation for their freshman year.
Nice.
Did I miss anything, Corleone? No. Yeah. And something else we're looking at doing with Bones is we were in a meeting about it this morning is some of, obviously rock music is a little different than hip hop music, so there's festivals and they go on for days.
Right.
So what we want to do is use Bones, who literally is, I could be in the worst mood in the world, and he makes me laugh because he's funny.
He is a funny guy.
He's a funny dude.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, Festivals, man, hundreds of thousands of people. Not everybody wants to see the 10 a.m. suck band in the morning, and they really don't have no place to go because they're not going to lose their spot.
True.
So why don't we have, instead of an after party, so to say, side stages set up with comedians to bring them into these festivals, not as a kind of a bonus, man. Because
Yeah, he's a comedian as well, right?
dude, he's everything. That dude is multi-talented, and I know I hope he's not listening right now. He's a good friend. He's a good friend, man. He's very loyal. Of course, he's from Boston. I never know nobody else. He's from OP. I mean, no, he is funny. He's just a good-hearted man.
Yeah.
So, I was actually adamant. That was one of the things in the contract that there was a concession that had to be made that he was an A&R on my project.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. And he's phenomenal.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you. I see you have so much going on, and it's great for the community, and it's great for everybody around you. I see you have like everybody, you're like helping everyone around you.
There's everyone. Yes, what happened? Oh, there's more people?
Yeah, there's one here.
Yeah, there's a whole house full of other people doing everything downstairs.
My name is Dustin Bones from the A&R for Straight Up DNT, and working on Sean's project. I'm also, we'll get to all my other jobs later. I'm a man of many shirts. But right now, we're just really pushing Test Human and introducing the world to Mobb Rock so we can let people know about the vitality of what we're trying to do. It's not a statement, it's a mind state, it's a state of being. State of living, state of breathing. It's not something that you fake. It's actually more about the real factor than it is about all the other stuff, like where all the manufactured music comes in. And, we got real guitars playing. There's a real drummer there. There's real people banging it out. Like, for the times where you got all the auto-tune stuff and you don't even hear somebody's voice, or they're doing all these weird melodies to try to make you think that they're really a part of the culture in this music. And it's not even real. It's not real emotion. It's somebody else's words about somebody else's life that's scripted and put in front of you like a teleprompter, and you just relaying and joining the tone of your own instrument. We're not doing that here. I say real factor, I mean real factors. Like, it's not just the reality of the person, but the reality of the facts of what's going on and where those facts are coming from and where they're being projected to. That's what I mean by that.
Okay.
We can bring all these people in here from, Latin descent, Miami,
Yeah.
Slade,
West Indian.
Bones,
Okay.
Irish Catholic,
Yeah.
It's time for change, man.
Yeah, I think people are ready.
Actually, Bones and I came up with a shirt yesterday morning. We didn't have time to get it pressed up, but it says, "I'm not white, he's not black.
She's not Asian.
She's not Asian, he's not Latino. We're all humans."
Oh,
Absolutely. One race.
I love
That's
that.
it.
That is it, man.
There's always powers in numbers.
Powers, man.
Right.
It's
Unite or die. That's it.
It's trying to influence, I think, man. And unfortunately, man, because of my bad choices in life, and I won't speak for your past or anybody's past, but I'll tell a quick story, then I'm going to leave it to Bones. I was walking Loki over in front of City Hall, and it's my dog, psycho dog. So I'm walking him, and a young kid, maybe about 16, came running up, and he said, "Hey man, you're Sean, right?" And I'm like, first thought, I'm like, he's going to ask for a cigarette or a couple bucks. Or I'm like, dude, I didn't do something to his dad or his uncle or something. And he said, "Oh, you're that mobster guy, right? Oh man, you shot all those people. That's so cool, man." I felt physically sick to my stomach. I wanted to vomit. That's what he looked up to me for. So I mean, it's about me changing my legacy. So I don't want someone walking up to my children or my grandchildren 30 years from now, I'm dead and gone, and remembering just that.
Right.
So now it's all about giving back, man. And I surround myself with like-minded people. We're all here, all with our own past. And it's just a movement, man. It's what'd you say?
It's not a state of mind. The revolution is being broadcast.
There you go.
That's what we do it. Broadcasting revolution is not being televised. We broadcasted it. For any of those who got an iPhone, download the podcast. Do my laws of non-disclosure, I have to come back and reiterate probably in kind later. You know what I mean? Really right now, I just really wanted y'all to really get into what's going on with the dude Sean, like goes how we know Sean. You know what I mean? Like, I really wanted people to see the people that we're working with. When we said Mobb Rock, we came up with this as a team so we could show somebody the concept of what it means to collectively work together to make projects move and make good, real factor content. I mean, in a world where so much stuff sounds so cookie-cutter, manufactured, mass-produced, let's take something and remove all that saccharin.
Okay.
I mean, let's remove all the preservatives and you know, red number 5 and all that stuff, and just put, you know, let's just put apples and juice. Let's just add cream, sugar, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Vanilla, you know what I mean? And then come up with some really good shit. And then once we do that, you know, let's sit back then and stack it up against all the cookie cutter stuff.
Okay.
Which it really won't, because everything else sounds like all that, and we're just taking something and making it real. It's what rock and roll was, it's what hip hop used to be, it's what jazz used to be. So people figured out that they can monetize it, pervert it, and let people succumb to it by ingesting it, mass produced into the system to the point where what's ingested into you now isn't even good for you anymore.
Right.
It's not even uplifting anymore. It doesn't make you stick together anymore. It's so manufactured and byproduct and preservative. It's bad for you. It'll give you cancer. It's cancerous to you now. You know what I'm saying? And this is what the product, the market is when we keep mass producing and manufacturing these fake, phony people. So for me, myself, I'm not anybody, anything or whatever. You know what I mean? I done some things. I clean up well. You know what I mean? But I like to surround myself with people that I know that it only really takes me 3 phone calls or less to figure out what this person is about. I ain't nobody, but I'm kind of high up the food chain as far as what my environment is. You know what I mean? And where I'm from. So, you know, if I can get it on a phone and 3 phone calls and, oh, that's a real motherfucker right there. Okay, that's a real musician right there. That's a bad motherfucker right there. They be about their job. They do their thing. They about look at what we doing right now.
Yeah.
And if you wasn't really about your joint, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So like, you know, I only surround myself with people that are seriously dedicated to what it is, the idea in which they facilitate. If you're not the facilitator of your own idea, like your own creation, your own shop, your own everything. I don't really got the time to put, I got 1,700 people in my phone. I don't got the space. I got space, but I just don't really got the time to hold your number. And if I don't have your number, I don't want to work with you. Anybody that works with me, I don't do that IG. Call, what I tell you.
He said call me. He did. I appreciate that.
That was a veiled joke. I can't use the phones.
He's tech unsavvy.
All right.
Oh.
Techno savvy.
When I'm in prison, we're still using real clips. No, this is a computer, and it's.
On the phone.
I can do the texts.
You remember Charlie Murphy? Charlie Murphy once said on the Boondocks, right? Well, excuse me, Samuel Jackson. You know what I mean? Which in character, Ed Wensler and Remy, right? It was the 2 white dudes on the show, ironically. Charlie Murphy and Samuel Jackson. So Charlie Murphy's character on the joint has he had a 2-way pager or whatever. And he was like, I like the way your ass look. And Samuel Jackson turned around, he was like, what? You talking to me? Or you talking to that thing? He was like, I'm on Bluetooth. Bitch love this shit. You know what I mean? And then he was like, that ain't nothing but nigga technology. And he was like, what? Because both the characters on the show are white dudes. He was like, what? He was like, no, I don't mean no racist shit. He said, I mean, you know, real, like ignorant people shit. He was like, why you call it nigga technology? Because it doesn't connect to a printer. That's anything that does not connect to a printer. He said, you know why? Because niggas don't got shit to print. Now, I'm not saying this for everybody to get comfortable with start throwing that word out, but think about this, what I mean. Like, you know, anything that does not connect to a printer, any electronic device that really doesn't work, it really sucks your brain away from you learning anything. Like, I challenge you. I challenge you right now when you're watching this right now. Put your phone down and write down 10 phone numbers that you know without looking at your phone. I bet you can't do it. And if you can do it, call me. You know what I mean? Hit me up. 10 phone numbers, and it can't be the police and 911. Can't be information.
Wait, whoa.
I can do it.
Or run a center.
Yeah, well, you know, I know y'all know that. They always call you. 10 phone numbers, just off the drop of a hat. That mean it'll be probably the hardest thing to do
I
because
used to
we're
be
so
able to
stuck to
do
our
it.
phones and
Sure.
that need technology. That mean that we've lost that. That mean we don't even know. We just see somebody's name and we press a button. We don't dial nothing. It makes us regress back, not just mentally, mathematically, emotionally, spiritually, because instead of looking at the sky, which is the biggest screen, we start going to the smallest screen to get everything that we need in life now.
Yep.
Wow, that's true.
I mean, that's that disconnect. So, you know, with that said, I'm going to go to the little screen and handle some work. I'm still working while working. Do you think? I'll be back. We'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Corleone. I'm the CEO of Corleone Records, also the executive director of PYN Distribution and Wu-Tang Management, and the vice president of A&R's and Straight Up ENT. You know, I'm just here to help, bro, just to make sure Mobb Rock, you know, everybody knows what Mobb Rock is. You know what I'm saying? All genres, all ages, don't matter, make a difference who you is. Me, myself, I feel like color's colorblind. I'm colorblind, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe in color.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There's light skin, dark skin. That's it.
Yeah. That
That's
is it.
Because when the lights go off, everybody black. Okay? So, I mean, I don't get into all that. I just like to make good music.
Right.
I do love rock and roll. I've been loving rock and roll all my life, believe it or
Me
not.
too.
Yeah, I'm one of those black guys that drive the bus, and I might throw some 3 Doors Down on, and I got my whole team videotaping me because they didn't know I listened to this type of music. So I thought they would sleep one night. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We coming from Alabama.
Yeah, it was Alabama.
Coming from Alabama. I thought they would sleep.
Strap up.
So I put my headphones in, you know, and rock and roll down the highway, bro, 85, and next thing I know, I'm all over the internet. You know, so.
TikTok.
So then when I meet Sean, and it's like, you know, hey, I do rock. I'm like, hey, I like rock. And he looks at me like, what you know about rock? Let's talk about some songs here. We get to talking, and next thing you know, yeah, I'm working now.
Yeah, he had to wipe the sweat
You know,
off his
something
head.
that really surprised me that we have one cover song we did we were asked to do a cover song. It is a classic.
What is
And it's Master of Puppets by Metallica. Absolutely. So,
it was his idea?
No,
no, we
I'm getting
recorded
on it.
and
You're on it?
No, I'm getting ready to redo it.
we did our own
okay.
take on it, and it came out great. We were sitting in my office last week,
Yep.
and I promise you, send me a copy of that. It's my riding home to Maryland music. We did change the arrangement around a little bit, but yeah, we did a great job on it.
You know, a lot of people that love rap also love rock too. I grew up listening to I grew up listening to all types of music,
I love
jazz,
music.
everything.
Yeah,
So,
of course. If you limit yourself to just one genre of music, you really depriving yourself of everything.
You're like you're starving yourself.
Yeah, you're starving yourself. Because I mean, like,
yeah, right.
there's some rock songs that when you hear them, I know for me, there are certain songs that I hear, and I can remember exactly what I was doing at the time when that song came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes you back.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe that Human music does. When you watch the Genocide video,
You're gonna feel
Me?
some type of way.
from a black man point of view, it's like, yo, dude really feeling this. Like, when you watch the video and you see Sean standing there and he grips the mic, you can see the white of his knuckles. You can feel the rage that he's feeling.
Yeah.
So he feels the same rage we feeling
Right.
about all the situations that's going on. And it's like, yeah, let's go do this. Let's go get this. Let's go get this, yeah. So, I mean, I gotta ride with anybody that does that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's, I gotta ride with you. Because you really showing me that it's not a white thing, it's not a black thing, it's a everybody thing. We
Right.
all got to,
Right.
we all got to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're Latino, you could be orange. from Mars. It's still an our problem,
Right,
It is, yeah.
right.
you know?
It's a worldwide epidemic, as we saw during, shortly after the George Floyd murder.
Yeah.
It was worldwide.
Mhm.
And as you, even in the genocide video, you'll see it's protests are international.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so it wasn't just limited to what was going on in Minneapolis. So it's,
It was everywhere.
I've always, I saw a lot of racism, and I caught a lot of flack from my side of the camp, because even in prison, which was a headache for the prison system, because I was welcome to sit at Latin tables, black tables, of course, white Irish tables. I see a man, I don't see, oh yeah, he's a black guy, or he's brown, or he's yellow, or no, man, I see a man for a man. I don't,
Right.
his skin just doesn't even register with me. I mean, I'm here, my fiance, I open my home, man, and it's just like, I don't care. It's like, I don't know how many nights in the last week or two, man, I'm just like, 7:30, dude, I'm going to bed. Because I get up at 2 in the morning, I work 18 hours a day, and I don't care who's here, what they're doing, I'm just lock up, man, have fun, fridge, it's family. It's just,
Right.
it's like, people don't understand, and again, with the music, right, it's, if you think back through the history of mankind, always chanting, banging on some form of creating an instrument, whether it was logs or sticks together, because it's tribal, it's communal, it's soothing. And if you really want to get into it, I think it actually goes deeper than that, into the womb and the fetus being soothed by its mother's heartbeat. So it's just, it's ingrained in it. It's just, that's what I just think. And again, it's like Corleone said, man, it's music.
It's music.
Music. If you feel it, you feel it, man. I wouldn't care if it was, whatever genre of music, man. If it's good music, and you're saying something, whether you're singing it or it's spoken word, or whether you're spitting it in rap, whatever the format may be, if it's relevant and there is substance, and you're just literally, you're not just rhyming a pattern of words together.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if that was it, we know, I mean, Jay-Z could rap around spaghettis and Chef Boyardee or whatever, man, and it's gonna sell millions.
Right.
Okay, so it's like, say something, man. It's, just get a message across. I see, like, with songs with me, it's no different than a Shakespearean play or a Scorsese film.
Oh, yeah.
It's 3 acts, 3 verses. It has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And that's, when I write the music for Test Human, that's the way I approach it, man.
Yes.
You have to have the setup, you have to have the conflict, and you have to have the resolution. It's
That's a story.
a story, That's what's missing now, and again, it's like, and again, like I said, I woke up with a smile, and then I saw this little video on my phone, and ding, and I'm like, I seen him in the studio, live.
Yeah.
We want this rock, we got the mosh, and I'm like,
They
yes!
gonna get it.
Yes.
They gonna get it, they money.
Did my job. I did my job, man. And, it reaches, it crosses all boundaries and borders, man. We've got Shotgun over there, man, who was, for the last, over a decade.
Yeah.
Miami,
DJ extraordinary.
Looney Tunes, yeah.
Beat maker, engineer, all that good stuff.
A little bit of everything.
We
How did you guys meet?
We met through Bones.
that guy.
Bones and Jimmy, this guy, yeah. Me and Bones have been friends for like over 30 years.
Bones.
And
Swap out
I
with me,
do
man.
a
I gotta
lot
go
of
to the,
Latin hip hop, reggae, whatever. I grew up in New York when all that stuff was coming up. I was a dancer. I was a dancer first, and then I got into DJing, and
Nice.
then just progressed from there. And it's been a lovely thing ever since, because when you love what you do, then
Yeah.
it's a beautiful day. But yeah, we hooked up. He told me about the projects that were going on here. I met these guys as well, and it's just been good vibes, good music, and we just ready to go forward from here.
Yeah, Bones just pulled out a whole Connect 4 board. And was
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
You over here,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
over
He
here.
had it backed out already.
That's the
Okay.
beautiful thing. We come from all walks of life. We've been through everything. It's just life. It's just, and to come together like this from all walks of life and just to make something positive for the newcomers that are coming and for, you know, the children that are coming up right now. You know, like Sean said, we just gotta give back now, you know.
Yeah.
Make sure that, they, you know, our kids, our grandkids don't need down paths that we went by. You know, we went down, so.
Now, how did y'all come up with the name Test Human? Or
Sean,
Sean.
I believe, Sean and his partner, he's the guy that did mostly all the, Mike, I'm sorry, Mike. They're the ones that came up with the whole concept. And one day we was all in the studio and then we all came together with Mobb Rock. Came together with Mobb Rock. So.
The whole Mobb Rock movement, Test Human movement is crazy. It's just like it's the hand up Mona Lisa's dress. That's what I like to call it. It's a surprise. It's the hand up Mona Lisa's dress. It's a surprise. It's something not expected. You know? And that's what people like. People like surprises. They like something that's new. It's not watered down.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, commercialized. It's raw. It's in your face. And it's something that everybody needs to look at, needs to see, needs to be a part of. You know, you got all these other organizations out here. Yeah, join Mobb Rock. Come be part of the real culture.
Absolutely.
The real, you know, conglomerate where you got hip hop, you got young people in hip hop, you got today's hip hop with a little bit of yesterday's rock and a little bit of today's rock merging all together like a big pot of gumbo.
Yeah.
You feel me? You got your shrimp, your lobster, all that all up in there, and now we get ready to eat good. Big old buffet.
Yeah.
You know? And our host is Sean. You know what I'm saying? Our host is Test Human. They you know, they laid the table for us to eat, so now everybody gonna eat. Just bring your plate and eat.
That's that jambalaya.
So you're one of the newest artists you're one of the newest artists, right?
Yeah, big yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, and you're signed to Straight Up Entertainment as well? Okay. So now, how did that come about? How did you get involved in Straight Up Entertainment and everything? Okay.
This guy here.
Okay. All right.
So I did a couple of, I was an independent artist. I'm from Baltimore, so
All right.
I did a couple of shows. I ran into one of my friends who actually introduced me to him. He had a show in West Virginia. He was doing the contest. Basically, I did the contest. I brought like 50 people out to each show. It was like 3 different shows. Filled his bus up each time. You know, came out there, rocked out. I got a contract with him, and then it's been like me and him ever since.
Wow. Yeah, because I saw you performing at the
The
Capitol
block party.
show. Yeah, the block
Yeah.
party. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been me and him ever since. He knew Jimmy from a while back. He told me what he can do for me. I listened to him, and that's how I ended up here.
Nice. So, any new projects coming out or in the works coming up anytime soon?
Right now, like he said, we pushing testing in Mobb Rock. I got my opportunity. I'm happy where I'm at right now. Like I said, the new genre, it put me in a new perspective of music. So now it's like I'm ready to work in this. Keep my hip hop, the new genre, but we pushing this right now. So that's what I'm gonna do.
That's great. That's good that you're wise enough to know that you can sit and you can wait for your time.
I got a lot of projects out under the hip hop. A lot of people know me.
Okay.
I mean, my name is out the place. You feel me? So I'm good. I'm happy where I'm at.